Welcome all you tech enthusiasts, you curious minds, and those navigating the electrifying world of bits and bytes. This is 𝐭𝐤𝐤, the podcast that promises to be your guide through this ever-evolving universe of IT and beyond. We'll be diving deep into the intricacies of IT industry, from market and technology insights, recruitment and career advice, to leadership in digital age. And, of course, a few surprises that go beyond the realms of binary, I hope. So, let's do it. Hi everyone, I'm your host Adrian Bednarz, and today we're talking about a very interesting topic, which is architecture, and more specifically the architect role within an IT sector. And because I'm not technical myself, I have some fantastic guests with me, experts in this field, Piotr, Uzar and Marcin Stepien. Hi guys, how you doing?
Hey, thank you.
Good, fantastic. Hopefully you'll shed some light into this topic and I can learn something from you and the listeners can learn as well. But first, maybe let's start with some introductions. If I may ask, Piotr, how about you? Can you tell us a bit more about yourself?
Yeah. Hi, my name is Piotr Uzar. I do work in the IT industry about 20 years. Different companies, different areas of interest. Currently, I'm one of the leads of the big data analytic groups in the Azure part. I have some team, and yeah, currently I'm focusing on the big data. Previously also cloud, on-premise, and many others.
Okay.
Passing to you, Marcin.
Perfect. Just one question, quick one. How long have you been with Softsurf for?
23 months.
Wow. Okay, we're counting in months. Nice.
Oh, no. No. My bad. No, it's almost 3 years.
Almost 3 years.
Sorry, yeah.
No, that's nice. Okay, good tenure. Fantastic. Thank you. All right, passing on.
Good to switch to years, otherwise I will have a problem to calculate.
Marcin, how about you?
Hello, guys. I'm almost 30 years in IT. 2 years
Okay.
plus with Softsurf. So, as you can imagine, different roles, different companies, different projects, starting from on-premise, then cloud, and now currently I am with the DevOps team.
All right. Nice. Good. Thank you. So just before we move on to the actual topic of this episode, quick question to you guys. Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Dogs, good.
I have both. So
Right. Nice. Hybrid. Good.
Nice one.
Nice one. A very, very safe answer, I would say. Very political. Nice. Good. All right, guys. So first things first. Let's maybe start with actually defining who is an architect, because, and I know this will be cheesy, right? But when I think about architecture or architects, I think about construction, right? Somebody drawing a blueprint for a building, right? But we are talking about IT. So an architect role, who is it? Who's an architect?
Very common question, right?
Yeah, I know, right?
And the comparison is very good, actually, I would say, for the construction. But I would say the architect role, it's basically the person who is taking care about solution, let's say, right? How the solution or how the whatever project has to bring, fulfilling the requirements and the business goals in general, right? So the architect, it's not maybe the full-time L3 level support, the knowing technology the best of the best.
Okay.
But surely has to have a wider view on the business itself, right? And how the solution can support this business.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
In a short word, right? Because
of course. No, I appreciate it. Thank you. That definitely helps understand this. Anything to add, Piotr? Is that
from my
clear?
side, I love the part about this. Architect is a person that have a holistic view about everything. Depending on the scale, depending on the size of the project, then we can say that the architect is a person that have a high level view. Next, it was helicopter view. I have heard like spaceship view, something like this. Person
too far.
That from the very, very high level. And also he is a bridge between the customer, mostly also depending on the size of the project. The stakeholders, architects, VPs, all depends on the size of the project.
Okay. So I guess my follow-up will make sense then, because I'm curious, what's the difference between an architect and a technical expert in this regard?
In short words, I would say that they have in very common from one hand. But the differentiation is, I would say that the technical expert, it's a focus on the one area, very deep focus and very deep knowledge about one area, like let's say databases, network, whatever, right? The one aspect. And is able to troubleshoot and do magic within this box, right? While architect actually has to have a knowledge about what is happening in the particular box or area, but has to have, as Piotr said, wider view on the whole solution, let's say, or problem, right? Yeah. Including business. This is what Piotr mentioned here, but it didn't sound maybe very important. But this is, if we talk about the differentiation between the technical part, technical person, let's say me, and the architect, is actually that the architect has to speak to the business in a words the business understand. And the technical person, not necessarily, right? He has this, let's say, box, right, when he has to fix the problems.
Okay.
What Marcin shared is pretty much describing the T-shaped model, right? So we got the one core. And as an architect, is mostly described with the T-shaped model because he have the one core skill, but he need to have a lot of surrounding ones. So this is the one core skill, and this is the line which is describing the lot of others. It doesn't need to be that the core skill is always technical, but mainly on architect level, it is like this. But very important is that architect, regarding his supporting skills, his other skills need to also include not technical ones. He need to be able to act as a business analyst. He need to act as a presentation person. He need to have some presentation skills. This is the biggest difference and the biggest challenge when switching from the technical expert to an architect. And also, what freaks out most of the technical experts, you need to leave aside console. You need to spend less time in front of the development. You need to look around on other stuff.
So you kind of have to learn how to let it go, how to let others do this technical part, as you as an architect have this, as you said, helicopter view or high-level view of the entire solution and the business relations as well. Okay, perfect. Well, that definitely makes it easier to understand. Thank you, guys. And you mentioned T-shape, but I just actually wanted to talk about the journey itself. So how to become, and what does the journey, to become an architect looks like, whether in software or in general?
It can be pretty different, and I'm happy that together with us we got Marcin because he have completely different path how he have achieved being an architect. I was a technical person. I spent a lot of time, in the basement doing something with Raspberry Pi or other stuff, playing and developing something, writing something, implementing something. And I was working in, let's say, big blue company, which had a path for enabling the technical experts to become an architect. And I said, why not? Let's give it a try. I went through the certification program. I was participating in the TOGAF framework, about which we can talk later. And after I got a mentor, a person who have supported me a long time and gave me a lot of advices, what I did bad, what I was doing correct, and I got certified as an architect, and.
So, in the spirit of the previous sort of keyword T-shaped model, you were an expert in technical field, but you had to master the other aspects of being an architect.
Yes, and I was currently everyone is talking about the cloud. I was working on the virtualization mechanism VMware. And I was good at this topic, really. I spent a lot of time, as I said, basement on server, pretty loudy, by the way. And I had to learn how to sell it, how to show it to the customer. Funny story. So my first role as an architect, I went to Denmark to the customer, which he had a lot of virtual machines. And I did prepare the migration, and I have described it, and I have prepared 60 pages presentation. And there was some VPs, key persons, and I started the presentation, and after 5 slides, like half of the person left the room. And then I said, okay, that's not good. And this is the thing. From the technical perspective, I was really good, but from the architect communication in the communication level, I was terrible. Yeah.
Sure. No,
I remember this moment.
Yeah.
Actually, we were working together. This, but yeah, it's absolutely true that you don't need to be. I mean, the main way or standard way, let's say, right, to become an architect, it's usually going through the L1, L2, L3, whatever, right? This technical part of the journey, and it's most of the people are finishing or going this way or trying to be architect this way. I'm coming from the different point of view because I was working as an admin technical person long time ago before the virtualization, and then I switched to the management part, right? So I spent a couple of years in a different area than technical.
Okay.
I was not using console in this point, rather managing people who are using those consoles. And then the same idea, Piotr, right? I said, oh, why not become architect? It's a cool stuff, right? From the name at least. So why not? And a different story, different path, but also I was able to finally succeed with this role and help customers within this role. About the T-shape, actually. So Piotr is coming with this vertical leg, let's say, of the T from the technology part, right? I'm coming more from the, let's say, service point of view, service management point of view, and then this vertical one. It's basically technology, business. It's everything which is actually touching the solution or the customers, right? And you don't have to really know everything by heart and deep down up to the 7-level config, but you have to know what it does, what is the input, output, all those parts to consider at least this, let's say, technology or process or whatever into your solution, right? So this vertical line has to be really wide or long,
broad,
right?
Yeah, definitely. That makes sense, especially if you want to add as much value to the business,
And our times as well, when the technology is just jumping like crazy, right? And we are planning something, our solutions, Piotr, correct me if I'm wrong, but you are facing the same problems. And a half a year later, when we have a handoff or whatever, right, and some big step, the technology is old already. Right?
Becoming legacy after 6 months. Yeah, definitely. Good. Fantastic. So now just moving on to a related topic, but being an architect, let's talk about skills required to be a good architect. What are those? Whether those are soft skills, hard skills. You mentioned, consulting, business aspect of it, but what other sort of skills are needed?
Being able to be a leader, definitely. So that's one key thing. We have mentioned that multiple times. Being an architect means also working with people and having the possibility. Okay, if you are an architect and you do not have good people surrounding you, you probably will fail. So definitely finding the being a good leader and being able to also delegate the tasks. Yeah. You will not be able to do everything. Talking with the people. Second thing. Consulting, third thing, and you need to spend a lot of time on different aspects of the solution. You need to also think about not only the technical solution but also about the industry, how it will be used. Those are the first things that are coming to my head.
Yeah, makes sense, Marcin.
Yeah, I mean, technical part is kind of pretty straightforward, right? We have cloud solutions, we have on-prem, we have and so on and so far, right? So it's pretty easy to get there and I find even materials to learn, right? So this is okay. As Piotr mentioned, and I believe it's your case as well, Piotr, right? When you became from person coding and putting patent on some technology to customer face and sell it, right? And then you face the problem or challenge, let's say, right? Because you were perfect in one technical aspect, but as Piotr mentioned, this communication, leadership, delegation, all the stuff has to be as well there, because simply it's not possible for architect to do everything, to be everywhere. And on the other hand, it's responsible for those solutions, right? So it has to know what is happening in the solution, and as Piotr said, trust people, get feedback, constantly work with not only technology itself, but with people around. And maybe it sounds a little bit drastic, but you also have to work with the customer, which is right, different topic. Right?
Yeah, 360. Yeah.
So what is important also, we need to be, okay, an architect sounds very cool, no? Because you're getting all the fame.
It does.
But it's a big responsibility, and okay, you get all the glory when you will succeed, but you are also, the fingers are being pointed to you when we will fail. And that willingness to take that responsibility, and I need to admit that this is a lot of time living under stress, under stressful situations. It's also something that you need to get used to, and the ability to be able to manage that stress is also something very important.
See, I like that, because not many people do talk about this topic, about stress involved in a particular role or function. And I appreciate actually you mentioning this, because it seems like first of all, a very complex role. Like there's so many different aspects of it, you know, being able to connect dots on multiple layers and levels. But that stress involved in being accountable for the solution and being the face of the solution to the client or customer. Definitely, I can relate. Yeah, definitely. Stressful. Thank you. So, okay, maybe a core question. I should have asked at the start of it, but why are we even talking about it? Why is it such an important role, an architect, and what benefits do they bring to a project or company?
Again, not first time I'm hearing this question, right? Because it's a pretty common. It's also usually depending on the size, I would say, from my experience at least, right? It's not a rule written in stone, because I saw the startups with a few people which they were thinking for architect to have possibility to nicely grow, not to have problems, and redevelop some stuff again because they were not designed properly. So depending on the scale, for sure. But architect role giving you basically giving the organization maybe the vision, the roadmap, the basically some kind of tangible goal in the end of the road, when the business or maybe IT which support the business has to go from this perspective. So there is a need for a person who actually, as we mentioned before, right, will go. I will show it up, right, a little bit up of the day-to-day problems, and see the business not only how it's functioning right now, but how it should function later on as well.
So having this holistic view.
Yeah, it's more about it's about the vision, roadmap as well. I guess Piotr will mention something about that as well, because you have some good example maybe around that, but still those directions are very important. From the one hand, right? From the other hand, you still have a team. You still have engineers, developers, platform teams, customer, right? All those factors which has to be also combined under it.
What you have mentioned is absolutely crucial for work of an architect, and I would like to focus on one thing: the roadmap. This is definitely something. And again, I will refer to what Marcin said. The technology is changing so fast that, for example, I am 20 years old. I have 20 years.
You wish. Yeah.
Let's double it, and then we will have the number. But I have 20 years experience in IT, and I've never seen technology running so fast. 10 years ago, creation of the
changes of technology.
Yeah, but whole evolution. So 10 years ago, creating a roadmap for 2 years is absolutely normal. And even though, even putting there a technology was something that would be doable. Currently, if I would ask any of my colleagues from my team, what would be the trend in 2 years? No one would be able to say like in too much details.
Yeah,
guess saying only, right?
Yeah. So this is why defining the roadmap is pretty challenging. But it's again about the responsibility of the architect, but also even while thinking about it, that your application, your solution, your system will need to be used in 1 year, 2 years. You need to define the core as flexible as possible, and in the such reactive way that it will be able to handle, and it will be able to work in 2 years, in 3 years, and you will be able to apply some new solutions. You will be new technologies. You will be able to connect to connect something that will be a game changer in 2 years, right? And without destroying everything and building everything from scratch. Maybe that would be a solution, but but no one knows.
Makes sense, yeah.
And that is from the technical perspective from one side, but also the business requirements can change dramatically in the 2 years. Looks how ChatGPT have changed the rules that we are playing now. That's one thing, but also changing electricity. So replacing the gasoline with the electricity. It also is currently driver for the IT, gathering the information about it. So previously you have been gathering the information from different engines. Currently from different, you're making different calculations. You need to define the roadmap as reactive as possible with the core that could be slowly implemented. Yeah.
I just have one thought about it recently, right? We have to start considering in our architectures. We have to start considering the electricity usage, right? Basically the health of the planet, because it's the benchmark is showing that it costs a lot, right? Water and electricity and so on. And suddenly, half a year or a year ago, there was no chapter in the architecture, how we can reduce the carbon, right, pollution or consumption of the water. We are doing it right now, right? And the cloud providers also are working with it and the companies to actually decrease this amount, right? So it's also cost saving, but this factor was not there a year ago, right? It's here already, and who knows what will be a year from now, right?
See, guys, I'm quite stunned because, to be honest, when I was thinking about architecture or IT or anything development, I never thought that this would connect to utilities, to water or electricity. But this is actually very interesting, and I absolutely see your point. So that absolutely makes sense. But it never actually occurred to me that this would be, under the sort of scope of, thought process behind, architecture or planning or road mapping. Yeah. Wow. Okay.
In the end, we know what is happening under, right? And we can reach those calculations for the consumption. It's a cost factor, basically as well, right?
Cost factor, yeah, exactly. We haven't mentioned that a lot of time architects is also being responsible for the offer on the money level. So how much customer will pay for it. So technical experts are lucky enough to have already identified technology, right, the solution, and they can start implementing coding. And we are also in that part while negotiating with the customer how much he will pay and what to remove or what to replace to still satisfy his requirement. And what we can remove to so he can pay less and he will still satisfy requirement, because there is one standard rule. You never say no to the customer. He's asking, can you do that? Yes, absolutely. But
it will cost you.
Yeah, it will cost more. It will take longer, and that's.
Okay, and I guess this is also one of the skills to have if you're an architect, to have those difficult conversations and creatively think about those solutions, how to sell them to the customer.
It's a part of the role to convince the customer for the idea which the customer has, right? And not every time the customer has the capability usually to simply fulfill the solution or the skill set, right, within the company. And then we are coming and we have to negotiate with them, right? Because time to time they want everything, and they want to pay $1, right? And
Sure.
then we are coming and say, okay, for $1 you can get this because it's simply this much it costs, and for the rest you have to pay a little bit more.
Yeah.
And we start to discussion, right? Or the decreasing of the of the functionality if the budget was reached, right?
Okay. Oh, yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. Guys, so let me just quickly move on to the next question, because from this conversation we just had, it seems like an architect is such a crucial and important role. But does every company need to have an architect? Is it a crucial role for every company? Or maybe it's not for everyone?
You want, okay.
Marcin, go for it.
I will go for it, yeah. So the consultant answer, right? Depends.
Yeah.
It really depends. As I said, I saw small startups with very few people, big budget, but they want to have a vision how they are going, right? Because it's important for the companies to have a vision, to have a roadmap, as Piotr said, right? Which will be supported by some architectural decision like technology and so on and so far, but still the goal when they can go to, which show them those small activities, like as mentioned before, small boxes, how to cooperate with these small boxes, having this umbrella of the goal on top of it, right? So this is important for some companies. It doesn't need to be architect full time. It can be architect like coming, doing the job, and going away, and leaving those vision missions and those, let's say, documents, right, for them to follow, right? Big companies usually they are needing this kind of role, this kind of skills. Again, to not get lost on the way, to not invest in a tool set or processes which are not needed or will be decommissioned later on because the vision is different. So basically. Again, from my experience, big companies, they do have architects on board, domain architects, enterprise architects, different kind of architects. Small companies, they will surely benefit to have the architect, maybe not necessarily full time. This could be overhead a little bit.
So here we have a contradicting.
Good. We like to have contradictions.
Yeah. So this is a question: do you need backup? No, you do not need it as long as you will not lose your data. And same with the architect. So do you need architect? No, as long as you are not changing the application, as you don't need to make some significant modification, or as long as your lead developer will not leave your company. That is first thing. But I would say that this is again about the evolution of the architect of the IT and also architecture. If you would have a monolith applications like times ago that they have been very popular, we got one segment. Yeah, it is like a one box which is providing all of the functionalities. Then I would say one segment. Everyone knows that one big segment that is providing everything. Why do we need architect? Because everyone knows everything, right? It's monolith. But as long as we have microservice application, that we got event-driven applications, that we got service object oriented architecture, who would be the one to which you will go ask him, hey, how this is connecting with this? And what is the relation? And I'm not saying that architect will always tell you, this is exactly this protocol and blah, 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 blah. No. But he will at least know who knows. And this is also an important thing. And also, we have not mentioned that architect, one of the responsibility of the architect, and I know that I'm not doing that every time, so sorry to everyone. But one of the responsibility of the architect is to be sure that the documentation is up to date and it covers everything what was done. So I would say that, as Marcin also said, it doesn't need to be a full-time person, one FT, but it should be. Someone should be nominated to that role. And this is not only so that person, as also mentioned before, doesn't need to be technical expert knowing everything. But that person need to be able to take the responsibility and saying, yeah, I'm architect here.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Fantastic. So you mentioned previously about different types of architects. We'll get to that in a second, but just as a brief icebreaker, I guess. Quick question about what are the benefits of being an architect? Why are you enjoying, or maybe you're not enjoying, but why are you enjoying it being an architect?
Fast cars.
Fast cars. Yeah.
No, we do not get it.
No, Hawaii holidays. No, okay.
No. I believe that for me the most beneficial thing is having the possibility to work with a lot of new technologies, because you need to be up to date with the technology. Because when you are talking with the customers, they will ask you about the new products, about something that have been published, that is new and can be utilized by their company. Yeah. And yeah, that is a very good possibility. You are spending a lot of time also on YouTube watching those solutions, because most you do not have time to implement them. That's true. What is next thing? You work with people. If you like working with people, that's very beneficial thing. And yeah, you have the possibility to. For me, this is a big benefit. You have the possibility to develop something on paper and see how it grows, how it is being implemented. You are driving something. You're seeing the challenges. You are seeing the problems. You are trying to fight the performance issues. But at the end of the day, and I had it multiple times, you are feeling you are very proud, because something that you have that came from the business requirements, you have put it on the paper as a solution diagram, some operational model. It's becoming a live working solution that is consumed by a number of people.
Nice. So seeing your idea becoming a reality. Okay, I see the benefit of it. So how about you?
Yeah,
Do you like being an architect?
Oh, yeah, we have to start to be one.
Or what are the benefits of being an architect?
But there are benefits, yeah. Responsibility and ownership, it's one thing, right? And but I will not say much more than Piotr said, I guess. Very, very nice stuff when you see the solution becoming real, and hundreds of people or million people start using, and there's your part there, and it's working fine, right? So it's nice.
Nice.
Happy customers, of course, right? They are nice view as well, because we're simply helping them, right, to solve the problems. But the most, for me at least, it's the most value has this broad technology and broad aspect of basically everything what is happening around the solution and business. So we have to catch up with the new stuff, not necessarily like Piotr YouTube, right? But yeah, this kind of, right? So not for genius people, some shortcuts, but we have to know what is happening on the market, where are the trends, and what particular tool, let's say, what it's doing, or and how we can even think to fit it later on. But this is nice. This is nice because giving you broad knowledge. Downside is that you don't have a deep knowledge around this stuff, but the broad knowledge for sure, right? So, and I like it. And I also like to work with people. So it's a beneficial that I'm not in the basement, Piotr, and I'm already in a park.
It was nice basement.
Yeah. It was your basement. Good. No, thank you guys. I appreciate it. Perfect. So now let's circle back to those types of architects. We mentioned a couple of them in this conversation, but what types of architects are there out there?
The most popular, about which we are talking a lot, is the solution architect. And there is a big problem because there is number of definition. Who is the solution architect? So we have already shared that we have been working in different companies, and in most of those companies, solution architect have been seen in a different way. This is also coming. Okay, the reason for that is also that even from the methodology perspective, solution architect is being described in different way in different methodologies. But yeah, solution architect would be the one that is
Most commonly known.
Yeah, drawing those boxes, connecting, you know, in recent times also defining the interfaces and showing how the data is being exchanged. Of course, there are also domain architects, network architect, cloud architect,
Data.
data architect. Oh, data architect.
Data
I forgot.
Long title. Yeah, like enterprise architect as well, right?
Enterprise architect is something a bit different.
Okay.
And I have also seen that in several places. Enterprise architect is often defined as a absolutely technology independent or being part of person that is absolutely outside of the technology, defining only the business process.
Okay.
Which is later mapped into the technology or to the solution. In my previous company, it was exactly such role. And looking at the evolution of the technology, I would say that enterprise architect role, as described by me, would be more and more useful, because if you would define enterprise technology in such way, you can map it to it is technology agnostic, so you can map it to any solution.
Okay.
And then you are going to the 3 well-known cloud providers, and you are saying, guys, here is my process. Please map it to your stack, and yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. Perfect. What about DevOps architects?
Oh,
Do we have such?
Yeah.
Yeah,
we had this discussion actually.
Did you?
Before? Yes, because new how's it called, skill sets or new roles, right, appearing while IT business is developing or growing. And we all know that is DevSecOps, DevFinOps, DevOps in general, right? Kind of famous right now. And it brings a lot of value in the end. And we had this discussion with Piotr already, whether this is becoming new domain part or new technology stack, or whether exists DevOps architect or not. And I'm on the position, now we'll be fighting, but now I'm on the position that is already growing in this area. The function as an architect, the role, is needed here as well, because the DevOps, meaning development and combination development part with the operation part, the platform teams and those day-to operations, becoming so big and so valuable to combine them together and make as a one big working machine, that the customers and the business itself is moving towards this direction. And because it's super wide, again, the aspect, right? It's not only databases, not only, I don't want to say it's just only, okay. No, it's not databases or part of the network. It's DevOps itself, starting from planning, finishing on the monitoring, right? So it's going really broad through all the, not all, but through many domain of technology and the business. And that's why it needs, again, some direction, right? Or someone who will take care that all those boxes below belongs to the proper place, and they are not interfering when they're not supposed to, for example, right?
Sure.
That's why I'm thinking that architect, again, as a person who is giving the direction, right? And it could be good in this area, or it's needed in this area, as long as it's still defragmented, right? Those part.
So
okay, now we have a different take.
It's not a different take, I would say. It's all about the naming. For me, it's like what we will put into that bucket. Does DevOps architect is responsible for the CI/CD? Is DevOps architect responsible for the infrastructure? Is DevOps architect? For me, I do not see those borders. I would put everything into the infrastructure architect. I even had once a conversation, and this is also challenging because I had a conversation with the infrastructure architect, and we have been talking about for what he is responsible. I said, I know, automation. Yeah. Yes, I am responsible. He said, I know, planning the storage and network partially. Yes, I am responsible. CI/CD, he said, I couldn't care less. And that's the question. One guy, one infrastructure architect will say that this is part of his responsibility. I think that there should, if DevOps architect is there, he should be also responsible for the for the infrastructure. And in opposite way, if the infrastructure architect is there, he should also cover the DevOps part. That is my only
Okay.
doubt.
Okay, thank you. So I think this is a good point in this podcast to make a call to action and ask our audience to express their thoughts on DevOps architect as a role, as a function. Should it exist? Does it exist? You know, what you think, guys?
As said, maybe I would ask the question differently. What would be the real difference between the DevOps architect and the infrastructure architect?
Okay.
Because we are starting to throw everyone in the same bucket. I was even working as a DevSecOps, and this is also putting more and more responsibility to the same person, which doesn't exactly need to be there. I think it can be defined in other way.
Okay, well, I mean, we encourage our listeners to make some comments on this. Thank you.
We have to move to other topic, otherwise.
Yes. This debate could last forever. It's fine. We're not time limited as much. But guys, so I think, Piotr, you mentioned TOGAF previously, but let's maybe talk about this. What is methodology or architectural frameworks? Frameworks within architecture.
This is set of the best practices. This set of the guidance how you can define the architecture. And everyone who is starting to work as an architect have that challenge how to talk with the customer, stakeholder, like other architect. You need to define some methodology. I have been using TOGAF and team solution design for many years, and I really like it. It is giving a set of the artifacts which we are using to describe an architecture, like sequence diagram, like the method of mapping the business requirements to the technical requirements. It's giving you the template of the document which you can use as a solution design document. It is giving you a really nice, and this is very crucial for many projects, and I do not see that in many projects, really nice a template how to describe the architectural decisions. So something very significant. Use case diagrams, a lot of things.
Common language, right? I mean, this is how you can. Sorry, but how you can buy those graphs and artifacts. You can talk with anyone, and anyone will actually understand what you're saying by reading this document because it's structured. It's well described, and immediately going with the, let's say, TOGAF framework, you have simply open base for discussion with the customer, because when you say it's an architectural decision, everyone knows what does it mean, right?
Okay.
Because it's described, and so on and so forth.
Last thing from my side. So in software, we are using 𝐝𝐸, Software Engineering Institute. This is also okay, but for me as a TOGAF person, I had to learn how to convert language from TOGAF to 𝐝𝐸. A lot of commonalities, I would say a number. However, some things may be challenging, like all the business driver concept. But this is again language. If someone at the other end of the table knows 𝐝𝐸, probably he will also understand TOGAF. But we need to give him a disclaimer. This is this, and that's it.
Sure. Yeah, different, naming definitions and approaches. Makes sense. Perfect. Thank you. Okay, guys, just moving on to the next question, because I was wondering about, architecture as a role and its commonalities or differences with project management. Right? So you have a project manager and architect. From your description of an architect, also very much a business-facing person, right? But project manager is also the one talking to the client, talking to the business. So what are how similar are those two roles?
So they are pretty similar, maybe not. They are pretty dependent on each other.
Okay.
However, there are some similarities. So first of all, the most important thing is about the planning. As said, maybe architect is more responsible for the long-term planning, but he's always cooperating with the PM while defining the short-term plan. Depending on the size of the project, we are also we may have a person in between, like a lead engineer or some other lead, who is more supporting PM while defining the tasks on the task level, while defining some success criteria. However, those are the things which are being shared by the architect and PM. More from the technical perspective, architect is defining, or the lead is defining the task. PM is responsible for proper planning, assigning the resources, about the skills which he's also asking the architect. And that's it.
So in one way, they're very codependent, as you said.
Yes, no doubt. Yeah, Marcin?
There are areas when they are like not maybe doubling themselves, but they have common responsibilities, right? Because both PM and the architect, they have to push the project further. They have to, go to the milestone and the documented milestone, right? Deliver what was promised to deliver, and if not, push someone to start delivering properly, and so on and so forth. So from this perspective, surely they have common tasks. They have common responsibilities as well, right? For the project, because it's not only architect responsible for the project. Project manager is, as the name says, it's also pretty responsible for the timeline for the delivering the project. So common things, right? And I would say the PM is not basically responsible for the decision about where we go, what technology use, how structure the team with the skill set. This is something which can come from the architect, but surely will be driven later on by PM as well, because this is the common goal.
Okay. So that, again, that codependency appears, but also, it seems there's, as you said, lots of commonalities. So the question would be, how often do the clashes happen? Do they need to learn to cope and coexist in one ecosystem, in one project? Because if there's a lot of commonalities, I'm just assuming there might be a lot of,
Time to time there are
classes. Yeah.
There's nothing more valuable. They have a good project manager with your team, right?
Yeah.
This is super valuable stuff. I would say it's more personal stuff as well, right? I mean, you're not working alone, right? You are usually surrounded by the people, and depending on the people around, you have to adjust yourself a little bit to work nicely with those people. But from the usually, I don't know really. Usually, some goes naturally, right? And those split of risk. I never said the serious clashes with project management.
Good.
Like
That's good.
One of my colleagues have mentioned that project manager is always trying to deliver the project as fast as possible, and architect as good technically as possible. And so in theory, that is of course a joke.
You have to meet in the middle.
Yeah, but from other perspective, it's good that there is someone who is pushing faster, and as said, those two persons need to meet in the middle.
Yeah, no, I agreed. Perfect. All right, guys, last question, really. And I have to be honest, one of my favorite topics, simply because it's a buzz around it everywhere. And actually, I think I've asked a similar question in every episode of this podcast. And it's around AI, right? And, how this impact, how will this impact, whatever. And in an architecture sense, or in an architect role sense, will AI play any role? Will it change it, revolutionize it? What do we think about AI?
You see, 2 years ago, we wouldn't have this discussion,
exactly.
right? And how fast the stuff is changing, right? So,
crazy.
And now you're not asking about some curiosity stuff, nice thing, right? You're asking about something which is on the table already.
Very
right?
tangible, yeah.
And right before this podcast, we talked with Piotr that there are set up requirements coming more and more from customer to be there, right? To have this sticker AI user, so not everyone who yet knows how to use it, for what to use it, really. Everyone wants to be there somehow, right? This is the feeling that maybe we'll use this or that, or the companies. What I see in my area, right? I see that they are starting to using those like GitHub Copilot or those AIs which are already very easily given to the customer. So they don't have to develop by themselves anything, right? So they are using the existing technology. And they are really looking for it. And they see value, see how the developers are not wasting time actually, right?
Yeah.
Searching for something, they have already this prompt stuff done. So we see those the movement, right? Again, for my area is still like we want to be there, we want to go there, we want to use it. Don't really know for what now,
okay.
but still wants to be there to expand a little bit more later on maybe. This is what I see. I don't see right now that, I mean, it's helping. It's helping me on a daily basis, right? I don't need to write documentation the same way as you used to before, right?
Okay.
Come on, this is the help, right?
Yeah, of course.
A lot of
it is
time
what it is, yeah.
right? Some troubleshooting, some this kind of small stuff. I mean, for me, it is helping, right? For the customers, I would say in the same way. So they're helping the customer stuff right now, not customer business like it's not embedded in the business yet that much, right? I mean, we see the companies which are using it and they are super famous, right? But but not everyone yet. So it's still going.
But I agree that everyone wants to jump into this bandwagon of having something to do with AI. That sticker, as you
even
said.
just to move, right?
Yes, exactly.
so yeah.
All right. Thank you. Yeah. Piotr, any take on AI?
So first is that meme, probably everyone have seen it, that as long as we will not have a well-defined requirements, as long then architect will be needed because he will need to clarify and build. And this is completely true. Definitely, this is true. And it's also about the cost. We are talking a lot of the architects and about AI, but we need to know that AI needs to go through a number of documents to produce something valuable. Needs to be, and also those probably need to be private documents of the companies of the or some already existing solutions, which are not often shared. Like in high level, yes, but in low level. So this is not happening. And currently, I'm even in the project that is showing the situation that customer have a lot of data, and when he have seen the predicted bill for processing those, he said, no, sorry. I will have someone who will go through that. And yeah, that's the thing. But very helpful, very supportive thing. But will it replace architect? Not yet.
Okay, good.
It's not production ready, I would say.
Yeah. Good one.
Not production ready. Nice. I was about to ask whether do you feel safe about your roles? Yeah, but that's good that you do. It's not going to replace
for the next month.
Yeah. I mean, it happens so quickly that you never know what's around the corner, right? But Piotr, just the last thing I'm going to say, because you actually mentioned a very important aspect of AI being implemented into any organizations, which is sensitivity and security of data and intellectual property as well. Like if AI has access to all of those things, and it's dangerous, right? I mean, it has to be some mitigations to avoid any leakages, for example. But I guess this is also to do with a potential architect functionality or role within a company to prevent this from happening. Conversation for whole other topic.
I need to respond to that because currently to take down the cost, we are using the cloud managed environments, right? We call GPUs, which are shared. And if you would like to have your own, this is a bit theoretical, but if you would like to have you build your own models, the best way would be to build it in your basement, but in your own place. To do that, you would need to invest a lot of money to have the new GPUs. So then, we're disclosing. So I believe with current cost of the GPU, with current approach, it's far away from this such thing.
So here's the thing: SoftServe, we are a consulting company. So if anyone wants to find out more, I mean, get in touch with those two guys. They can definitely help you. No, but guys, thank you very much for being part of this podcast. Very insightful, very knowledgeable conversation. At least for me, I learned a lot. So thank you. And hopefully our listeners will learn something interesting too. And don't mind me saying that if they want to find out more, to get in touch with you guys. Yeah, you're happy with that?
Yeah, of course.
Perfect. Again, Grant, thank you. And everyone, stay curious.